Hello, how are you? Hi, everyone. This is Shirley Fawar, and this is Encouragement on Fire. Today, we're doing something just a little bit different. As you can see, I'm in a different location, and we're still talking about defeating cancer, sickness, and disease at Encouragement on Fire. But this podcast, number 126, episode 4, we're talking about wellness and the importance of physical activity. Now, many of you are in different stages of what's going on in your life, and some of you may be going through the current sickness that you've been in. So, if you've been through chemo or radiation or other very serious medications that the doctor has to give you, sometimes it slows you down and you're unable to really have a lot of physical activity. Or sometimes, like in my situation, every time I had received the chemo, I had 2 days before I was very tired. I couldn't get up. I was laid flat. So everybody has a different experience, but mine was usually 2 days. Some people told me it was 3 days after they had their chemo. Some people do not receive any side effects at all. But I'm here to say that whether you're in the middle of that or you're on the latter, exercise, physical activity is very important. So if you haven't noticed, I am on my treadmill. So some of you have a neighborhood you're able to walk in. Right now, where I am, it is very cold. And so if I went outside, I would have to bundle up, with everything on and sometimes sweating and all of that. I don't want to do all of that, but I have the convenience to be able to be inside. And yes, I did complain at one time, and my husband said, okay. So he ended up getting me a treadmill so that I could exercise. And this is way before I had gotten sick. But I always have known that it's important. Physical activity is important. And even when you go to your doctors, they tell you this. They say, eat fruits and vegetables, right? Get minerals, and also exercise. And what do they always say? If you ask any doctor, any nutritionist, what are they always going to say about physical activity? Walking is the best. So a lot of times we want to get out, we want to run, and there's nothing wrong with that. Depends on your physical body. Some people, their knees, their joints are not conducive for them to be able to run. So if you're able to get up, if you're able to walk, you can walk slow, medium, or fast. But you can walk, then get up. If you are able to do that, there are other exercises that we can talk about, and we will throughout this year. What else can you do if you're unable to walk? Okay. But today we're talking about walking because walking is a good thing. It's one of you know, those exercises that provides you a lot of mood changes. So if you are a person that, you've been sad a lot, talk to your doctor first of all. But they're going to tell you that if you exercise, it can change your mood. And walking is one of those things. If you start walking, especially if you're outside and you're seeing the birds and you're seeing the animals and you're seeing the people or the trucks and the vehicles, whatever your environment, when you start to walk, it does change your mood. I recommend if you're going to walk, go to a park. There's always some wonderful things happening at a park. So it may change your mood. And then also, walking helps to rebuild your strength. So that strength in your legs, in your joints, the different parts of your body, it begins to do that. And it also helps with endurance. So a lot of times, I don't know about you guys, but a lot of times when I start walking, I'm out of breath, right? And we have to get to a point where normal walking, we're no longer out of breath. And how do you do that? By every single day taking the time to walk. Now, I'm going to challenge you today because I've challenged myself. I have gotten back into a new routine for this particular 2025. But I'm saying to you, how about the two of us decide that for 5 days we're going to get on the treadmill or walk outside or walk in the gym or walk in a mall for about 15 minutes. Can we do that? Think about it. Our podcasts are about 15, 20 minutes. Sometimes I'll go over and do a 30-minute or a 1 hour special, but those are special occasions. But on average, they're about 15 minutes. So today, I'm going to talk to you for 15 minutes while I'm walking on the treadmill, right? So let's continue. So I want to always take you to some scriptures because it's foundational. We have to have a balance. If we're going to do some physical activity, we also have to talk about, well, what does the Bible say about this physical activity, right? So I want to take you to 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 8. It says, for physical training is of some value. So I'm saying the Bible said it. It is of some value. So if you are someone out there who provides physical training, it is of some value. It will help individuals to be able to do what it is they are doing. But remember, we must still have a balance. Then that scripture goes on and says, but godliness is profitable unto all things, having promise unto life that is now, is, and of that which is to come. So what it's basically saying is, yes, it's profitable for us to exercise. We have to keep these bodies in shape, right? And we also have to try to live a good life. So when you define a godly life or a good life, what do you define that, right? So I always go back to the Bible because it always gives me a foundation of being good and kind, right? Fruits of the Spirit, being gentle, all of those things. They're very important when we are dealing with one another, right? Because sometimes we misunderstand people. Sometimes we have a bad day. There's lots of things that go on. But if we all take the principles of the Bible to be good to our fellow man, we will all be fine, right? So we're going to always exercise. So what are we going to do? We're going to walk. So I love today because, like I said, I'm on this treadmill. I'm not going that fast. I'm intentionally not going fast because this is the beginning of you and I on this journey. We'll pick it up during the year. We'll be running. We'll be doing a bunch of different things in physical activity. But right now, let's just start to talk about what what are our agreements? What are we going to do moving forward? So today is considered Sunday. And my challenge is to do this for at minimum 10 to 15 minutes in every single day. So 7 days a week, 15 minutes. Now I'm telling you guys, for me, it's going to be a challenge to get back into doing this 7 days a week. Now, I can tell you, can I do this at an hour span at a time? Yes. I usually watch TV, I get on my treadmill, and I get to going. But this is a different type of task that I'm doing with you. So once you put a commitment on something, you have to stay with it. Okay? So we're going to do that. And then, like I said, we're going to do it 5 to 7 days a week. Can we agree to do that together? 5 to 7 days a week. We're going to check back in. I think the time that we're going to check back in probably will either be 14 days or it'll be 21 days when we check back in. And I want to know, were you faithful in that physical activity? Now, the other thing is location. Where are you going to walk? Now, everyone, I want you to stay safe out there, no matter where you are. So you can walk in your house. You can stand right in the same place and just walk, watching television. See how I'm walking? I'm walking on a treadmill, but I'm not really walking that fast, right? Really not. But I can watch a television, talk to someone on the telephone. I can do a lot of things, work on a computer right in front of me. I don't know if you can see this. I actually have a flat stand on my treadmill. Sometimes I sit on here and I read books, and sometimes I type doing some of my work, as well as I may watch television, but I'm planning out what it is I'm going to do so I can be successful. Now, you may not do this in house. However, what about walking with your dogs? So we take our dogs out nice and quick sometimes, but maybe we'll take a 15-minute walk with our dogs instead of being a 5-minute walk. So we extend that time to make sure not only are we helping our dogs, but we're also helping ourselves in our physical activity. So will you commit with me? It's not going to be the treadmill. It's going to be walking your dog, right? So we're going to do that. So whatever the location, maybe some of you have a gym pass. I don't have that once upon a time, but I don't have that. But maybe you do. Maybe you have the option. So go to the gym. Be committed. Even if you say, I'm going to go to the gym and I'm only getting on the treadmill for 15 minutes, or I'm only running around their track for 15 minutes, then just do that. But make a commitment. Even if you say, I'm only doing it for 7 days, then make that commitment because it's important for your health. Okay? All right. Now, the other thing I want to say, we want to make sure that when we get dressed, we have the dress attire that is needed. So if you're inside, your dress attire is going to be different if you're running outside. So if you're inside, you're going to have on a nice t-shirt like I do, the Conqueror t-shirt, or another t-shirt. And you're also going to make sure you have on your watch. So I have my watch on that's connected to my health, right? So a lot of you have those watches or not. You don't have to. And also I have on my jogging pants. So those pants come in different styles. So you choose, or you can have on shorts, as well as I prepare for my sneakers. So I actually have running sneakers, and I also have sneakers specifically for the treadmill. So you have to decide what brand, all of that ahead of time. Be intentional on your health. Listen, even if you say, I'm not able to do what I used to do, that's okay. That's okay. What can you do now? See, it's not about yesterday. It's about right now in your moment. What is it you want to do? And what can you do? And let's start from that place. That's why I said I'm walking very slow. Almost to the point if I was walking, it would take me forever to get somewhere. But guess what? I've made a commitment to move. I've made a commitment that I will have physical activity in my day to day. Now, there was a time right after chemo, I wasn't even able to stand up by myself. So I'm saying to you, what can you do? If you can only do 5 minutes a day, then that's what you do, and you get up and you try it and you sit back down. If you got to take a nap, you want to make sure that you are warming up and cooling down. Okay? You want to make sure you're doing that. Warming up and cooling down. Because you don't want your body to get hurt in this process. You know, the doctors will always tell you that, warming up your body, stretching your arms, all those things. But if you're utilizing your legs, you want to make sure that you're stretching your legs, your ankles, all those different parts. And use about 5 minutes before you actually get on the treadmill or you take a walk in the neighborhood. It's really important. At the same time, when you are done your 15 minutes, you want to make sure that you're cooling down. So let's say that you did a 2.0 speed walk. Then you want to gradually change the speed so that you can cool down and your body, your heart rate begins to slow down. Okay? All these things are good. So like I said, talk to your doctor, talk to your nutritionist. Everyone should be in on what you're getting ready to do. Because they're going to make sure they moderate it specifically for whatever it is that you need to do. Because what I'm doing is totally about me right now. But you and I are going to work together. See, this regimen of me 15 minutes or 20 minutes a day, that's what I need to do. What is it you need to do? Okay? All right, so we're going to cool down. We're going to listen to our bodies. But there's also a couple of other things I'd like to add, if you don't mind. I want to make sure that you are hydrated. So it's really important that you are getting enough water in your diet. So if you can, while you're exercising or while you're walking, drink your water, right? Or you can wait until you're finished. I like to make sure that throughout the day, I drink at least one of these or two. Now, when I was on the chemo, I had to drink, I think, about four of those in a given day. So I'm saying to you, what is it you need to do in this season of your life to be as healthy as possible? And if you need to modify whatever it is you're doing, because sometimes we try to do too much too soon. That's why I say start small. Start with the 5 minute, 10 minutes, 15-minute exercise, being on that 1.0 walking, right? Just making sure that our body, we're listening to our body, we're doing what we need to do. And again, I just want you to know that physical activity is important. And I'm hoping that you will join me on this journey of 2025, you know, improving our bodies, improving our health. All right. Well, I'm Shirley Farrar, and I'm going to get back to exercising and doing what it is that I need to do. Be encouraged.